Hi guys, this is Yvon Dongo, Senior Consultant at CM Asset Consulting. We are specialized in Microsoft technologies, Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, Dynamics 365, and so on. So I previously posted several videos on automations, like how to create a custom connector from scratch for Zoom using actions of that connector to build many other automations and so on. So in today's video, we will have another flow, okay, that will help us to perform a specific task I'm going to describe. We have a project entity, okay, project entity. We also have a project with role entity. The two are linked, okay. So within a project, a contact can be involved working on a specific project. This is a contact as a lookup. He can work on a specific project. This is a regarding field. So when you have a regarding field, you can link it with several entities at the same time, because from here we can select a project, we can also select an event, we can also select a campaign from here. So within a project, a contact can work in a project, and if he has data contributor role, these two fields will be displayed. We simply use business rules to manage that, so it's quite simple. And when the role is data contributor, he can submit a content, and a content submitted can be approved or rejected. Okay, if I go on this content submission, this is the report section the guy has worked on. This is the topic team. This is the data contribution. It's just a sample, okay. And this one has not been approved, okay, no. So he has submitted a content not approved by the org. If we look on this one, data contribution, is the content submitted in another project. Okay, so this one is approved. Now this is a scenario. From within a contact, okay, the org wants to be able to query the system and get the result over here. They will know what happened to every content submitted by any contact working within a specific project, okay, and having data contributor as role. So if I query the system must tell me that this guy has worked on this number of projects listed on each line, and for each indicate if the content he submitted has been approved or not approved. So this is the scenario. Let us first see how the flow works, and then I will show you how it has been done. Okay, so let me try to this is on flow. So this is my flow. I click on it. Pardon. The Power Automate iframe is opening, and I will be able to run my automation from here. Okay, it's loading, connecting, then I can just click on run and done. Okay, so it is running background, of course, and I can refresh from here to see the result. Okay, it works perfectly, and the first content has not been approved and the second one has been approved. It will be helpful for the org when working on specific topic team to know that, oh, this guy has several content submitted not approved at all. Maybe in next project regarding this topic we should not include him, or we should include him if in the opposite he has submitted previously several content approved. Okay, so this is the purpose of this automation. Now let us see how the flow has been done. The trigger is when a record is selected. Of course, this is the environment, and this is the table name. Okay, I just declare some variable. Data contribution is string, topic theme is string, report section is string, approved a boolean, approved reformatted is string. Okay, final item object and object, and the last one is an array. Okay, when building your flow, when you need to create a variable to store a result and so on, you can just create it. It's up to you, and it depends obviously on the logic, okay, of your flow. So I just list project with role rows, project with role rows from here, because I need to know in each project the guy has worked and having his role and so on. That is why I need to list this entity. I also list content submission, okay, to get the different content submitted by the guy, because remember, from this entity we can just get the name of the project, okay, because this is itself a lookup, okay, a lookup field. So from here, if I collect the data at this level, I will just get the name. But if I want a specific indication, or maybe the data contribution is an entity itself, I will need to go and get the row, this row by ID, in order to recover some content. Okay, I also list approved content rows. Okay, approved content is my final entity where I store this. Okay, I need also to list it because I want to avoid inserting duplicate records. So I need to recover the content and compare the data I want to store here with the data already there, and to filter it in order to avoid inserting a data several times. Now I just pass the project with role, okay, and I can select. After passing, I can select. This is the body of the pass operation. This is the key and the corresponding values. And as I told you in previous video, to recover this is quite simple. You just run your flow at a specific level, and you will be able to read the different field names you need to map it with the key, okay, as value. After that, I need to filter the result of the previous operation and remove all rows having empty content submission. Okay, this is very important because I don't want to work on data not having a content submitted. Okay, so because a guy or a contact I can have some project with role with empty content submission. This kind of record is not useful in my use case. That is why I need to filter and remove all empty. This is to make my flow run rapidly to avoid working on useless records. I filter. This is the body of the previous operation, because when I recover my project with roles, because I'm working, I will query the system depending on a specific contact, a specified contact. That is why I need to filter to make sure that I'm working on useful data. So I filter this, taking items matching, okay, with the full name. So this is coming from the trigger, okay. So I need to recover project with roles for the specific contact on which I'm running the flow. Now I have to loop in order to get other data I don't have at this level, okay, because I should go on maybe the data contribution entity in order to get indication of whether or not this content has been approved or any other details regarding that lookup. So get content submission by row ID. The table is content submissions, and I pass the row ID, okay, previously selected in previous steps. So this is my final item object. I store here the item. The item is the current item, okay, from this array, because this is an array of objects. So item is a single object on which I'm working on. So I store it here. Now my current item will have, of course, some key values already, but I will complete, okay, adding other key values with data we retrieve from the lookup record, okay. So now I just compose, okay, the result of my record here. Set data contribution, okay. This is my variable data contribution. I store here the data contribution. I store here the topic team, okay, recover from on the content submission, okay, entity, which is a lookup at this level. So approved, whether or not the content has been approved, I store it here. Approved, reformatted. Sometimes when you work in flows, you will face some small issues and you will need to perform actions like this, because when if I run the flow, you will see that this approved return me a true with T. The T of true is lowercase, but in my flow, and regarding depending on the other output of other actions, I want an approved, okay, variable with the true must be T in capital letter. That is why I'm doing this, okay. So now I add some properties now. So I add some properties, okay. Final item object, which contains some key values already, okay. And the add property will take 3 parameters. So the item or the object on which I want to add other properties, okay, and then you give the key a name, which is data contribution, and the value, which is variable data contribution I've recovered. I will do the same, okay. So add property, this time I take as first parameter the result of the previous, okay, the previous one, which contains the initial item with key values with the other one I have previously added, okay. I add now the topic team with its corresponding value. I do the same for report section. I do the same for approved reformatted. Okay, now I append that to my array, because don't forget that I'm looping. Okay, I'm inside a loop. I do it for the first row, then I move to the next one, and at the end of the day, my final array will get the expected inputs. So now I just compose my final array here, and now I pass the content submission. Okay, I pass also the approved content. Okay, I also pass it, and I can select some fields on the approved content. Okay, as I told you, I need to recover it in order to make a filter, avoiding recording items already here in this entity approved content. So this is the body of the pass. Okay, and this is the key, this is the value of contact full name, contact expertise, content submission number, project. Okay, and the role, the sub role. I recover all I want. That could be really useful for me. The topic team, the report section, the approved. Okay, now from here, when I run, I can notice that I have the approved give me a yes no value, but I want true or false. Okay, I don't want yes no, because I will need to filter the arrays, and the structure must be the same to easily manage it. That is why I have to transform it also. So if equal item ran approved, yes true item, so I transform it from yes to true. Okay, that is what I'm doing here. Okay, now I filter. This is my final array view containing the item I'm supposed to insert in the content submission, and I need to filter this one, removing items already stored in the final table. That is why I select it does not contain condition here and item. Okay, item is the current item from here. Now I can insert. Okay, so the body is the body from this operation. Okay, and the table is approved content. This is the topic team, which is item topic team item application. This is the ID of the record. I can call the GUID function to generate the record ID. This is the approved. This is I make a lookup, because when you store things in the final table, you should link it to each contact. Okay, you should link it to each contact. So this is how we reference a lookup within a flow. I showed you how to do that in the previous video. This is the contact expertise. This is the content submission. This is the content submission ID. This is the content submission number. This is the data contribution. This is the project. This is the report section. This is the role. This is the sub role, and I'm done. So this is how I've built this flow. And thank you for watching, and see you next time for another video. Thanks.